Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are in the MetaStock XENITH platform, also known as Refinitiv Eikon, but not really. We'll get into that in just one sec. Before I do, appropriate disclaimer and disclosure, I have been provided with temporary access to the platform for a few weeks by the folks over at MetaStock. I let my original subscription lapse and they were kind enough to extend that a little bit. And so we'll be doing a few videos on this while I have the access here. It does not impact or in any way sort of influence my opinion of the platform or anything I'm about to say. But I wanted to give you that disclosure nonetheless. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that this was MetaStock XENITH, but also Refinitiv Eikon, but not really. So how does that work? Well, very simply, the MetaStock XENITH platform is built on top of Refinitiv Eikon, and Refinitiv Eikon is pretty much Bloomberg's biggest competitor. And there's a sort of a slimmed down, watered down version of this platform that Refinitiv licenses out to MetaStock, and it's MetaStock XENITH. And the primary difference is that MetaStock XENITH is sort of aimed at retail investors and traders, and Refinitiv Eikon is more for institutional use. And in fact, when you're downloading the platform, you'll have to attest to the fact that you are in fact a retail trader or investor. So the topic of today's video is going to be the app library. And an app in Refinitiv Eikon or MetaStock XENITH is essentially a function. So if you recall back to the Bloomberg videos that we did some time ago, every sort of function has a 3 or 4 letter, in some cases more, type of shortcut that you can use. And an app in this particular program is just a specific page or function or feature. And when you get started with the platform, you're going to come up here to the icon, and you will see a few different things here in each of these categories. And when I first started using this platform, I thought, well, is that it? And I didn't really like how it appears. So what you can actually do is you can, well, first of all, you can click down here to see more apps, but the shortcut is the app lib. So app lib or lib. And this is going to show you a list of all the applications that are available to you in this platform. Now, I should say that because MetaStock XENITH is a stripped down version of Eikon, some of these don't show what they're supposed to show, or they'll say NP, which stands for not privileged, meaning you don't have access to see this because you're not using the Eikon platform or you're not an institutional user, whatever the case is. But you have a total of well, I don't know how many are here in terms of apps, but there's quite a few, and they're broken up into different categories. This differs with Bloomberg, where you can type in your market player position, right, and it'll show you apps or functions that are relevant to you. Of course, you being the user of XENITH, you are a retail investor, so you don't have a market player position apart from just an ordinary investor. So it just shows you everything here that you need to see. So we're going to go through these categories one by one. We're not going to go through each and every app because otherwise we'd be here forever. So let's go ahead and get started with analytics and calcs. And this is my favorite category in the platform, only because it has tools that I actually use. So for instance, you have an option portfolio analysis feature, an option pricer. Let's just pop that open. And you can effectively enter in all your parameters here and compute the payout of an option. See the impact of divs and rates, and this can change according to whatever symbol you put in here. Another tool I find myself using a lot is the historical return analysis function, or app. It takes some getting used to say app. So this is exactly as it seems. It's actually quite similar to what you see in Bloomberg, where you enter in a start date and end date. You put in the RIC, which is the symbol, and you get your information. You can tune the confidence level and so forth. Regression analysis for my stat nerds out there. Again, you can tune all of these to your preference. And here's another one that I like, deals. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on in terms of acquisitions and buyouts and all sorts of things, this is a good place to come. Not as data rich as Bloomberg, but there's still some interesting information in here that you can grab. Just take a look at current deals. And I'll show you the recent deals that are happening. We'll just put this to 2022 for more current data. And here's another one that I really like. It's the Signal app. And this allows you to detect technical signals in the market, and it will show you results. So for instance, if I were to come here, you'll see this is the signal list that you can use, everything from Bollinger Bands to moving averages, crossing over moving averages, crossing under, close above certain averages. So when you add these, so for instance, let me just add, I don't know, I'm just going to click one at random here. See it added to my list here, apply. It's going to see if there are any results. There are no results, but if there were, they would appear in each respective box, as they do here in the close above the 14-day simple moving average. And you can see those results listed here, and it will show you each category that you've put in and whether or not this particular symbol is applicable to it. So apparently you have to click up here, and the reason why, I believe, is because this will show you all the results from each specific category you've listed, and so it can't do all of that in one chart, so it will allow you to choose from each particular category. So these are the apps that I like in this category. You can take a look for yourself and see what you're interested in. Let's take a look at the charting section. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here. You get real-time charts, even though in the base version of Zenith you are delayed by, I think, 15 minutes. Just a simple chart. I think we've all seen these. Let's just see what else. Economic indicator chart. Let's just see what pops open here. Come on. So interesting that this happened, because this sort of goes back to what I mentioned at the beginning. There are some things that you just cannot see in this platform. And what I clicked there was one of those things. Another one here. So you're going to find that as you go through the platform, that a lot of things are not available to you. So these are all your different charting tools. And there's quite a few here, I must say. I don't chart in this program, but if you wanted to, you certainly could. Not if you're a trader, I would say, because if you're a trader, you're probably going to want real-time information. And at $150 a month, you don't get that here. I don't think that's a MetaStock thing. I think that's more of an exchange thing, and they may have an option for you to get real-time quotes, but that would be additional money. Company tools or apps, you have fundamentals, estimates, deals, corporate actions. So we'll just click corporate actions. We will, I don't know, type in Apple here, AAPL. You'll notice that the symbols are a little different in this platform, the RIC as they call it. They usually are suffixed with a period and then a letter. So here's the corporate actions. You could alternatively have just typed in the symbol here and gone to event and then corporate actions calendar. So that's not, that's not groundbreaking. So I'm going to show you what's available here. I find the snapshot app, if I can find it, to be pretty useful, which I'm pretty sure it's in this category, company snapshots. Let me just come back here for a sec. Yeah, there's another one here called snapshot. I don't know. Let me just search snapshot. Oh, okay, it's in the monitoring category. We'll get to that in a sec then. Company snapshots, though, I'll just type in a RIC here. Select a view, and you can choose from any of these. So we'll do business segments, and it'll show you relevant information. So this is also pretty useful. Let me clear this out, and you have filings, of course, price performance. These are all really interesting tools. Markets. I have to say I don't spend a whole lot of time here, but I will show you what apps are available. And there's quite a few. I'm going to go over to monitoring now. Let's just click around here for a sec. Broker stats. There's even a Star Wars app. I'm not even sure what that's about. Oh, that's interesting. You have a world clock if you want to sort of throw the time into a corner of your screen. Bloomberg has this as well on the launch pad. You just pull it out and stick it somewhere on your monitors if you want to monitor the time zones or the various exchanges. Let me just find snapshot. So this one is useful. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. It just shows you at a glance some relevant information, some quotes, some intraday quotes. I don't know why it's not loading in fundamental data at this time. News. So I've got to tell you, if there is a major reason for you to sign up for this platform, if you're a serious investor, it's going to be for the news. And Reuters is as good, if not better, than at news than Bloomberg is, and it shows. So you have a variety of options here available to you. I'll scroll through these so you can see. There's a news topic guide, a news monitor. This is just a standard news function. You'll notice right by the title there's the shortcut code that you can type into the command bar here. Breaking views, top news. Top news is my favorite function. I have it open all the time. And this is what it is. It's basically set up. It's a lot cleaner and nicer looking than the top feature on Bloomberg, where it's kind of just like all lines and just very dated. This one looks a little bit better, and if you click the story, you get the sidebar here, and then you can just go back to the front page by clicking that or clicking the back button, and you can refresh right here. So very, very good. Also, I think is it NH? No, that's Bloomberg. Um, if you just do news, it will show you a scrolling list of news articles. And so what I like to do also is I like to break this out and chuck it in the corner of one of my monitors and just let it scroll through. And you can change the topics. You can put particular symbols in there or whatever. And if you have all news, it's just going to scroll wildly. You might not be even able to catch anything. News is a little slow today because it's Good Friday and the markets are closed, but even then you can see it's 4:52 right now and you can see articles coming through. But during the day you'll see this just cascade nonstop. So as far as other news apps, some of these apps are not really relevant anymore. Japan 2019, for example, the election of 2020. Not that it's irrelevant, but it's not something that anyone's watching because the election has happened. And then you have Social Media Monitor. When I was talking to one of the folks at MetaStock, they were really proud of this particular feature. At least it seemed like it. I'm not sure if Bloomberg has something like this, but you can effectively type in an instrument here and it will scan the social media outlets like Twitter and try to gauge sentiment on securities. So you can see Apple. I've got Apple and Tesla selected. You can see that an overwhelming amount of sentiment, is positive, right? If you probably put something in here like Palantir, it's probably not positive. Let me just see. We'll remove all. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. It's 100% positive. Um, Not really sure if that is valid, but there you have it. So you can throw your symbol in there. You can take a look, and it will show you some tweets there as well. Um, I have to be honest with you. I'm not somebody who goes to social media to see what people are saying about symbols. I don't want to sound, elitist or anything, but I focus on what I know and what I think, and I take everyone's opinion seriously, certainly, but I find that a lot of what's on Twitter and some of these other social media websites are really garbagey, low quality analysis of stocks, and that I can do without. So here's what else you have for news. Polls. Uh, I'm not really sure anybody would care about this. I mean, energy, yes, but I don't know what that has to do with polls. Portfolio management. This is actually going to be the topic of another video, so I'm not going to do it today, but you can track your portfolio in here and get stats, not as in depth as Bloomberg, certainly not. But again, we have to temper our expectations. This Zenith platform is a lot less in terms of money than Bloomberg is, certainly. Search tools. So search tools is pretty good. One of the functions I really like here is analysts. So you can type in the name of an analyst and you can get some information about the stock. I think you can get some information about the stocks they cover. So I'm just going to choose a random Michael here. There's a Michael at Morgan Stanley, and it will show you the symbols that this person covers and their accuracy and so forth. Unfortunately, you do not have all analysts here. I don't know how they decide which analysts end up on the platform, but they're not all here. But there are still many. Also useful are these search tools for instance, bonds and equities. So let's see, we have an equities advanced search app here. and you can see that there are 2.7 or almost 2.8 million results if you want to search by QZIP, by RIC, by issuer, currency exchange, all sorts of parameters here. So that's useful. There's also a fund finder in here somewhere, I believe. Fund screener. So we'll pull that open here. It says start by adding a fund list. So create new list, and I don't know, we'll just type in Invesco. It will run through the search, and you'll get your results and show you the status of that fund. Is it liquidated? Is it active? Is it merged? Check that off. Oop, hit OK. Generate report, and you'll get a clickable link to the RIC. There's a bond search in here as well if you're looking for fixed income products. Related securities. And there you have it. And then trading tools, a lot of these are AUTEX related. If you don't know what AUTEX is, it's basically an online system brokers use to advertise liquidity in positions. So it's very useful if a trader is looking to see if someone has a block of certain stock or something like that. So it's basically an advertising platform. A broker might say, I've got 2 million shares of Apple. And a trader who's looking to buy in block would know right away to contact that broker. So that's how it works. I have to tell you, many of these tools are not available. As you can see, it's asking you to sign into FX trading. I think the monitor may work, but is not showing anything right now. Session is closed. IOI liquidity, this might not show anything. And there you have it. This is just internal tools. I think this is for the people who work at Eikon to manage certain aspects. And then you have dev apps, app key generator, web UI gallery. And so, all in all, you have quite a few apps that you can choose from here. Not all of them will work, unfortunately, but I think there's a little bit of something for everyone here, especially if you're someone who is serious about investing. And this platform will allow you to do your research. Now, can you live without this app? Absolutely. I even mentioned that during the Bloomberg videos. Well, if you want to find something about a company, the odds are good you can find it online without the help of a platform like Zenith. Zenith, like many other financial apps, are simply data aggregators. They collect all the information and put it in one spot so you can find it easily. And that's what this does. So we're going to leave it there for now. I'm running a little bit long here, and stick around for the next video. Thanks for joining me.